record reflects she's present in court with her attorney and the people are represented. We're outside the presence of the jury. A few things we need to put on the record. First of all, during the course of jury instructions, the people or the prosecution wished to dismiss overt act number 11 as to the conspiracy. That was granted. We neglected to put that on the record. Mr. Smith, you have a motion?
Move to dismiss overt act number 11 on count 2.
Any objection, Mr. Terry?
Submitted.
All right. That motion to be granted to show overt act number 11 will be dismissed, and the jury did not have to consider that. Number 2, I want to put on the record the notes that came out yesterday and how we handled that. First note came out at 10:15 a.m. That was a request to see the snow globe exhibit. We contacted both counsel. Both of them said it was okay to send that back to the jury, which we did. At 2:15, we received a note requesting September 19th from 1:30 to 3 o'clock, the reporter's notes. Madam Reporter was able to get those ready for them. We contacted the attorneys, asked if it was okay to send those notes, that read back to the jury. They both okayed that, and Madam Reporter went back into the jury room and read back her notes from 1:30 to 3 p.m. for September the 19th. Then received a note at 2:35, which read as follows: is the attempted murder for the pudding/poison? My answer was yes. The second question was, does it include the actual murder? My answer was no. The record will reflect that I did contact and speak with both counsel, discuss that with them both, and they both agreed to the yes and the no answer. Then lastly, at 4:10 p.m., we received a note that reads as follows: we have completed all the verdict forms signed by the foreperson. Contacted counsel and let them know that. Agreed, Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. One other thing is that if the jury reached a verdict yesterday afternoon at 4:10, the chances are quite high that they dated the verdict form for yesterday, which would be October 4. To be taken the actual verdict today on October the 5th. So if that would clear up anything that would be on the record about that. One final thing. I heard the preliminary hearing in this case, and at the conclusion of that hearing, there was an outburst from the spectators in the courtroom. That will not happen today. All right? Whatever the jury decides, everyone present is to sit quietly and calmly and listen to the verdict. This is the Superior Court of the State of California, and you will conduct yourself accordingly. Understood? All right. Daniel, let's bring him in, please.
Sixth in session.
All right, we'll go back on the record of People versus Sabrina Limon. The record reflects she's present in court with her attorney, and the people are represented. We do have all 12 in the box. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Nice to see you all back. Received a note yesterday at 4:10 p.m. that we have completed all the verdict forms signed by the foreman, which appears to be number 7. Madam Foreman, is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you have the opportunity to date and sign the verdict form?
Yes.
Very good. Would you fold that in half and hand that to our bailiff, Daniel, please? Deputy Baron will hand that to Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk will hand it to me. Thank you. Give me one moment, please. Verdict form does appear to be in order. Madam Clerk, please.
Superior Court of California, County of Kern, Metropolitan Division. The people of the state of California, plaintiff versus Sabrina Limon, defendant. Case number BF 166801A. Verdict in Bakersfield, California on October 4th, 2017. First count. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Sabrina Limon, guilty of a felony to wit, murder of Robert Limon in violation of Section 187, Sub A of the Penal Code, as charged in the first count of the information, and do hereby fix the degree as murder in the first degree. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Penal Code Section 189. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled cause, find it to be true as to Sabrina Limon that the crime was done with premeditation and deliberation within the meaning of Penal Code Section 189 as alleged in the first count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Second count. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Sabrina Limon, guilty of a felony to wit, conspire to commit a crime in violation of Section 182, Sub A, Sub 1 of the Penal Code as charged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 1. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be true that Jonathan Hearn purchased arsenic trioxide as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 2. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be not true that Jonathan Hearn mixed arsenic with pudding as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 3. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be not true that Jonathan Hearn delivered the pudding with arsenic to Sabrina Limon's residence in Hellendale as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 4. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be not true that Sabrina Limon placed the pudding with arsenic into Robert Limon's lunch as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 5. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be true that Jonathan Hearn purchased a cellular phone to escape law enforcement detection as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 6. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be true that Sabrina Limon used the cellular phone provided by Jonathan Hearn as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 7. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be true that Sabrina Limon provided the information to Jonathan Hearn of the BNSF shop location in Tehachapi, California, as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 8. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be true that Jonathan Hearn went to Tehachapi, California on May 23, 2014, and located the BNSF shop based upon the information provided by Sabrina Limon as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 9. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be true that Sabrina Limon informed Jonathan Hearn that Robert Limon would be working in Tehachapi, California on August 17, 2014, as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Overt Act 10. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled case, find it to be true that Jonathan Hearn shot and killed Robert Limon on August 17, 2014, as alleged in the second count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Third count. We, the jury and panel to try the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Sabrina Limon, guilty of a felony to wit, solicit to commit a crime, murder, in violation of Section 653F, sub B of the Penal Code, as charged in the third count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Fourth count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Sabrina Limon, not guilty of a felony to wit, attempted murder of Robert Limon in violation of Section 664/187, sub A of the Penal Code, as charged in the fourth count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Finding on Penal Code Section 189. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled cause, find it to be not true as to Sabrina Limon that the crime was done with premeditation and deliberation within the meaning of Penal Code Section 189 as alleged in the fourth count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Fifth count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Sabrina Limon, not guilty of a felony to wit, mingle harmful substances with food or drink in violation of Section 347, sub A, sub 1 of the Penal Code, as charged in the fifth count of the information. Signed by the foreperson. Sixth count. We, the jury, impaneled to try the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Sabrina Limon, guilty of a felony to wit, accessory, in violation of Section 32 of the Penal Code, as charged in the sixth count of the information. Signed by the foreperson.
Madam Foreman, is that your true and correct verdict as to each count?
It is.
Mr. Terry, would you like the jury poll?
Yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to call on your individual seat and ask if that was your true and correct verdict and finding as to each count. If it was, answer yes. If it was not, answer no. Juror number 1.
Yes.
Number 2.
Yes.
3.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
5.
Yes.
6.
Yes.
7.
Yes.
8.
Yes.
9.
Yes.
10.
Yes.
11.
Yes.
12.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I do have a final instruction for you, ladies and gentlemen. You have now completed your jury service in this case. On behalf of all the judges of the court, please accept my thanks for your time and effort. Now that the case is over, you may choose whether or not to discuss the case in your deliberations with anyone. Let me tell you about some rules the law puts in place for your convenience and your protection. The lawyers in this case, the defendant or their representatives, may now talk to you about the case, including your deliberations or verdict. Those discussions must occur at a reasonable time and place and with your consent. Please tell me immediately if anyone unreasonably contacts you without your consent. Anyone who violates these rules violates a court order, and I'll take care of that. I order that the court's record of personal juror identifying information, including your names and addresses and telephone numbers, will be sealed until further orders of this court. If in the future the court is asked to decide whether this information will be released, notice will be sent to any juror whose information is involved. You may oppose the release of this information and ask that any hearing on the release be closed to the public. I'll decide whether and under what any conditions information will be disclosed. All right? Again, thank you for your service. You're now excused. Daniel will escort you back into the jury room here for a moment, please. I'll be back here to talk to you in just 1 second. All right? He'll come around this side door. Council will be in recess 1 moment. I'll be back out. The record reflect I did have the opportunity to speak to the jury. Mr. Terry, I'd be inclined to set this in normal course and scope unless you need some more time.
No, that's fine.
All right, Madam Clerk.
On November 3rd, 2017, at 8:30 a.m. in Department 6.
That date look all right, Mr. Terry?
Yes, that's
Just
just
a minute.
That's fine.
All right. Mr. Terry, anything further at this time, sir?
This time.
Mr. Smith? All right, counsel, you have my sincere thanks for putting on an excellent case. Thank you very much. We'll be in recess. Thank you.